Welcome back for the second to last chapter of Nazi Zombie Armies. The Library of Evil? Something like that. We're assaulting a library. Books must be destroyed. Or something. I realized this time around, after not paying attention to all the little introductory clips to the level, I'm like, oh, that's probably where the plot's hiding. I've been missing it this whole time. Remember in the last level I picked up a map and I'm like, what the hell is that for? Oh good, somebody already beat me to blowing off some of their faces. That guy's not coming back. Oh, those guys are. And now they're gone. So I've actually do remember some of this level. I forget kind of the details, but I think that we don't have to deal with a, whatever it was, undead commander. We are going to a library, so there will be lots of brains there. I think Futurama beat me to that joke by a decade. I don't care. I'm going to make it anyway. So. And again with that. That's clearly, that's because of my skill. Steam can't even handle it right now. It's the first time I pressed shift in a Steam game, apparently, so let's wonder what that's all about. There we go. So, yep, I'm just gonna be progressing. Shooting through. Nope. Nothing could possibly happen there. Oh my god! They're coming back to life! I'm shocked, guys. I'm actually legitimately scared. Okay, we're good. There's just one. Everybody, it's okay. There's only one. Okay, so maybe now I should be scared. So, yeah, I decided to switch up to the Carbine, the Colt, and the Thompson, which I believe are the best choices after 3 levels of remembering what the hell it is that I'm doing in this game. And as I recall, this level is a very good demonstration of why the game is fun. There's a large arena section coming up, along with some interesting set pieces, some enemy variety. Right now, we just get to deal with these same old zombies. Twofer. Sadly, I don't think that guy's going to stay down, but we still got to say that we got him with a 2-for-1 aim. I think the scope on this one is garbage. Not quite sure. So let's see, we've got this level, this level, this level, this level. So yeah, 3 levels of zoom. None of them super close up, but... Or, yeah, none of them super close up, but we're dealing with enemies who are super close up, so it doesn't matter. So I was thinking the other day, somebody asked what were some good underrated games, like games that, basically, if you had to recommend one game that was better than what it got rated, what would you recommend? There's some good ones in there. I want to throw out one of my personal favorites that I think I may have talked about before, but we'll see. It was called Phantom Crash, and it was this weird mech game. It was similar to, it's weird that building is so open. Looks like you should be able to do something with it. You can't! Moving on. So Phantom Crash was like, Monster Rancher, which is a fun game in its own right, mixed with mechs. You could build your own robot, you could build the parts, you could pick the AI that went into your ship and like, would help you during battles, and have different lock-ons, and they each had different personalities. And I remember the one that I liked was this bitter, sarcastic thing, where it was just like, ugh, look, more enemies, Jesus. Basically, there was a 60-day rotation of ranked tournament matchings. So you started at level E, and you had to beat the level E rank up match in order to be able to play the level D maps. And you did that for the whole thing until you got to finally the S class. So it was a lot of just big tournament battles, mostly mech on mech, but there were a few free days basically, where you're just fighting against, it's not NPCs because it was only single player, but basically non-important character robots. But the weird thing about that game is that it just had pages and pages of stories in there. Like, before every single significant fight that you would play, there'd be like a 10-minute cutscene. And I remember I'd always be like, I'm gonna figure out what the plot is of this game. And I'd watch, and after like the first hour of it, you're like, screw it, I just want to fight. I just want to be a giant robot. But yeah, it was cool, because every gun that you bought, you could like level it up by spending your prize money on it. And each gun had basically like the final factor to it. So like the pistol guns, they would get closer and closer to 999 ammo and deal more and more damage until finally it was like 50 ammo, but they did, 1,000 damage instead of 20. It was like, whoa, at the max level. Just kind of fun things like that. So it was actually a pretty cool game. It was for the original Xbox, and it was one of the few games, for whatever reason, that they gave backwards compatibility to on the 360. So, there's that one. I'm actually really excited because around the same time that Sniper Elite Nazi Zombie Army 2 comes out, yeah, I've already got that pre-ordered. I'm going to be playing it the day it comes out, because why wouldn't you? Oh geez, I don't remember this guy at all. But that's alright, we've got plenty of room to work with here. Yeah, Sniper Elite Nazi Zombie Army 2 is coming out around Halloween. At the same time, more or less, it's like by a day or two, that Deadly Premonition is going to hit Steam. Which is another game that if you haven't played it, play it. It's awesome. It's more about characterization than pretty much any other game this generation. It's like kind of how people say that in Silent Hill, the enemy that you're fighting wasn't the nurses and it wasn't Pyramid Head, it was like the town, and that's kind of the way that Deadly Premonition is. The interesting part about the game isn't the combat, and it's not like, I don't know, the enemies or the gameplay or the mechanics. It's just all about the people and the place. So it's a really neat experience for that. Other good ones, Nier came up, which Nier is a fantastic game. I'd give it pretty much a must-play. Like, the gameplay is... it's not terrible. Some people say that it's pretty bad. It's not the worst. But again, just the story and the way that they tell it is pretty phenomenal. And it does a lot of interesting things with just kind of breaking down genres of video games. So, another party recommendation from me. But, you... if you're listening to somebody... excuse me, if you're listening to somebody who's playing Sniper Elite Nazi Zombie Army on what games have a good story and what, good games you might have missed beneath all the crap, maybe you don't want to take my advice. I'm trying to think of some other ones that came up in the thread that I'd actually heard of. Because there are a lot of games where I was just like, nope, don't even know. I also missed out on the entire PS2 library, so maybe there's that. Yay, safe room. Safe room. Safe room. There's a map. This map means nothing to me. Maybe there's a history buff out there, who knows? I am not them. Alright. So what's going on in here? More zombies! In an unprecedented move, all of a sudden the game has turned into Dance Dance Revolution. No. Oh, it gives it away so bad, but if you've never played Frog Fractions, look up Frog Fractions. Because that is another interesting game. It's a Flash game, so it's free. And it also has fun by breaking down the established genres of video games. And, it was interesting. Give that one a whirl. That's right, this game is so good, I have to spend an entire episode talking about games that it isn't. It's a very cool use of music here. I don't know. Like, it's not what you would expect given the environments. Makes it all bleak and depressed. Something happens here that's annoying. What happens here that's annoying? Oh god. I feel like, I don't know the actor's name in Memento. I'm like, I know there's something that I have to remember that's going to screw me over. I'm willing to bet that a zombie's involved. Just conjecture on my part. I think there's a big guy who spawns? Maybe not here. There must be another very similar situation in a copy-pasted room far, far away. Yeah, and this is the part that I was remembering talking about earlier. This is a wide open courtyard, and there's going to be plenty of action in here throughout this level. Literally, each of the 5 types of enemies is going to be represented. Yeah. Actually killed enemies. Jeez, he took his sweet time to blow up now, didn't he? Someone's screaming, and it was in like a not just general screaming way. I guess yelling would be the term for that. There's a difference between yelling and screaming. And I would say that I guess that now that guy can't be screaming because I shot out his lungs, but they also are dead. So that hasn't stopped them before. So maybe my logic falls apart there, just a little bit. Another scream. Scream! Now in Scream-O-Vision. Oh god, he's gonna blow up. Yeah, that was right next to me. It was in my ear, asshole. I'm gonna get perforated eardrums now. Today's just the worst. I wonder if this is another one of those situations where I shouldn't just be fighting off hordes of the undead, and I should be going to the marker. Let's go ahead and explore that possibility for all of our sake. I think there's basically 2 different kinds of gamers when it comes to situations like this. The kind who play the objective, and the kind who cannot leave a room until everything is dead. And when you're playing games like Legend of Zelda, it's kind of fun that way, where you're like, oh yeah, I should definitely be doing something else right now. You know, for a minute there, yeah, I did. So now Satan himself is mocking us by withholding a key. So we have a door that we can't currently unlock, that we have to kill hordes of easily killable enemies by traversing through hallways filled with doors that we also cannot unlock. Yeah, this is a horror game. So who's up in the Zeppelins? I think that they might help me out a bit. Okay. So now we have a locked door that's locked by the powers of the hordes of the undead. So now we get to safely pop heads, knowing that's what we're supposed to be doing. I know I was saying that I talk about it too much. This music reminds me of the final song in Dark Souls, just in kind of the tone. And then the music, of course, immediately stops after I say that. Fortunately, you, the fine people at home, have the ability to rewind and see what the hell I'm talking about. Definitely an optimal distance for doing the no-scope. Or an optimal enemy type. I think the skeleton's just not worth it. And I believe in those bunkers there are ammo caches, so you don't have to worry about running out. But still just gonna search the corpses to do a little bit better on that front. Checkpoint clear! Which is, of course, from Diddy Kong Racing. The wonderfully... I can't say overrated and I can't say underrated. That game was rated. I know, as a kid, I did not care for that. It started off fun, and it ended impossible. Which I guess just means that the game had a difficulty curve, but... Oh, that's right. This is the weird doorway where they forget that you exist if you're... I'm on one side, I'm on the other. I'm on one shore, I'm on its brother. You should be showing your genitals to me, Mr. Zombie. Alright, so I seem to recall that this is the other half of the level. Pardon my enthusiasm. This game, all games like this, basically, I like the genre, the kind of... This is a little bit more modern than what I'm going to be talking about, but the Serious Sam, Earth Defense Force, Doom-like, the first Fear game, the games where you have limited resources. Oh no, the satanic zombies. But these games where you have limited resources against hordes of enemies and longer level design, although Doom doesn't apply because those were like 1.5-minute levels. But basically, there's only so long that yeah, a little bit on the creepier side. They're so draining though, because that whole genre of game is just like balls. I've been playing one level a day of this, and I'm already like, yeah, you know, that's enough. I wish the levels were about half as long. Is that possible? Because, like, I don't know. Just the harder enemy types are never fun to deal with. And, like, just resource management is so emotionally and mentally just draining. So I just don't want to. I just want to go home. I don't want to deal with the enemies. Oh, that's a big one. That's what I was thinking about before. Because, oh, that's right, and then they dick you over by putting zombies over here. So in case you've been slowly retreating, then you just get sandwiched and you're just dead. Alright, and I think one of those was not a headshot. Oops. Let's get the dev console up. That's good. That's what we wanted to see. We're just going to dev cheat and just do kill that guy. That's the exact command, as it is in every game. That guy, of course, referring to the only enemy that you would have difficult killing. Yeah, little pro tip there. Even works in Minesweeper for some reason. I think that I can get him before he gets me. Again, on harder difficulties, that's a bit more of a trick. But they gave us room to maneuver, so... God, I thought that was the big guy coming back up. I'm like, I didn't know that they could do that. For a minute, it looked like one of those zombies was Keanu Reeves. There's a little bit of a good arcing of the back to dodge that bullet there. And this is... oh, it's such a dick move. It's right before a checkpoint and a safe room. So it's just like, oh, did you die to that big guy? I'm sorry. Yeah, you should have known that he was going to be spawning from the ground for no apparent reason. Too bad, huh? What have I not done? Oh, I haven't collected the other key piece. Huh. You know, I realize that it's, oh, little kids, they're scary. Ah, yeah, oh, geez, she's a tiny 2-foot tall spawn of Satan. But there actually is something kind of creepy about that. Like, you can't deny that. You see the glowing? Do you want a piece of the glowing? Alright. Another big ol' siege. And spoilers, it's gonna end in a big guy. Now we got all the slow-mo cams. Yeah. Game knows it's trying to ratchet up the tension by killing any pacing that you might have. I do like this game. Don't get me wrong. Don't let me be misunderstood. Please understand. There's a guy about to blow up next to me. There he is. Get away. That's just going to be center of mass. It's actually cool, again, for the benefit of anyone who hadn't played the original Sniper Elite 2, the one without the Nazis. They did decrepify all of the organs, so what you're seeing are the gross zombified versions, which is a nice little touch. I guess you could probably tell that from all the brains, but the lung ones and heart ones and kidney ones and testicles have all been a little bit lacking, so I thought I'd clarify. Skipping out of their animations to avoid death. Those cheating bastards. There's some games, and I think that Gears of War was definitely one that was guilty of this, where it seemed like the enemies just had this AI right when you'd pull the trigger that they'd stand up. So you have like this perfectly lined up headshot, they're like, were you gonna shoot me? And you're like, come on, really? It's so frustrating. Gears of War also had enemies that would take cover behind positions that would still leave their head exposed, though. So that one was kind of a 50-50. Yay, we survived the siege. God. You thought that we had collected the key? You thought wrong! Prepare for more horrific libraries! And this is also another section that was more or less copy-pasted from the original game. In case you were wondering, this is actually from the level that was an escort mission. Yeah, escort mission in a sniping game. When you say fun, I think that I can. Still remember how. It starts off well with a big ol' FU, so there's that. I don't know if I go for the door if that's going to screw me over. Let's find out. I wonder how many enemies you could theoretically skip in this game if you just kept running. Like any real survivor should. There are hordes of the undead. Better pack up my pistol and not leave a single one standing. It's up to me and my band of high school miscreants in order to try and solve the case of the zombie apocalypse. We're just going to put ourselves in this abandoned shopping mall. One guy who's mentally unstable, a character of at least 2 different colors, and we'll just kind of go from there, see where it takes us. We'll have the young guy, which, in the Walking Dead video game, the young guy was done really, really, really well. Just gonna throw that out there. Not gonna say any more, but they did a good job on making his character believable, as they did with most of the characters. And I think that those are the 2 guys who have been following us this whole time. Maybe not, though. Dicks. Looks like that's a dead end, so that means that it might be the direction I want to go. I forget this level. I think we're going to have to do some backtracking to find both of the key halves. Pretty much guarantee it. They're going to look good without head zombies. Guarantee it. Hearing some scraping sound. It is not making me sleep easier right about now. Oh, the feasting. Far be it from me to interrupt. Suck a potato masher. I don't feel like shooting you chumps. I mean, it's not like I'll stop shooting them because I don't feel like it, but I'm just gonna shoot less of them. or I'll shoot one of them more than I would have otherwise. Hey, hey, hey. I'm trying to raid someone's corpse here, skeleton. Don't be getting up in my face and trying to kill me about it. Nothing that I'm doing is illegal. They're Nazis. Yay, we found a key. Good for me. Good for me. One of my friends is playing Dota. It's gone to a better place that I too hope to go someday. The bathroom. Actually, I haven't been, there's a big content patch for Dota, which I have not gotten into yet, but it changed so much of the game. It's super interesting to think about. I was watching a stream of one of a, not really a pro player, but one of the better players in the community. He was saying that there's just so much that he had to just readjust to, as far as like mentally figuring out what the new meta was, given all the changes. Like, that's pretty cool, because Dota has been around for a while, so the fact they're able to still shake up the community in a way that's hopefully fun and balanced is more power to them, because that game is super free. I mean, I'm not one of those people who will badmouth Call of Duties, or especially Madden's, being like, yeah, they didn't introduce anything new, so, you know, why would you go out and buy another game? Look at a game like Dota. It's managed to be competitive for, whatever, like 6 years, and still maintain a price tag of completely free, which is pretty good. But if you go and you buy a game like a Call of Duty, something like that, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Madden, whatever your jam is, man, if you're getting the time in that, who cares what you spent on it? If you spend $60 on Call of Duty, and you play that game for 60 hours in the competitive multiplayer, then, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you still got your money's worth. There are some games now where you could spend $60 to get 8 hours of content, and it's like, oh, well, is that really worth it? No, it's not. So, I mean, it might not. It's not that it isn't worth it, it's just that you might be getting less value with the same price on it. And then you throw in map packs where it's like, oh hey, you could still be playing the same game for another, you know, 50 hours if you just pay this money for the DLC. And people are like, but they keep charging it every year by giving more people an excuse to play the game again. Like, oh no. Anything except for playing a game that people enjoy would be the worst thing in the world. Oh yeah. They were just whizzing through his bones. That's why none of those looked to be hitting. They were dead center. It's just that they're so porous that I couldn't help but to miss. That's what I'm going with. It's captured on video, guys. You can't refute it. Alright, so now we'll go, put the key in, and it won't work because we have to fight off a horde of zombies. Called it. Oh, I'd totally be that guy in a zombie apocalypse, wouldn't you? But I told you it wasn't gonna work, guys. Come on. I guess not, though. Just a regular good old-fashioned zombie horde. Oh, hey, there was a big guy. I was right on that, at least. So I recognize that none of that was with the sniper rifle. Huh, there's friendly fire. What you know about that? Oh, and there's snipers in this level too, aren't there? I seem to recall fighting some of them. Might have been the original. Yeah, none of those shots before were with the sniper rifle, but there were a lot of faces that just got blown away. And a lot that are currently not getting blown away. So, you know, take that for what it is. Yeah, that doesn't really feel like I could insult him for how much he died there, because that took an awful lot of effort on my part, but I'll go ahead and say it. Mr. Guy with the giant gun, zombie sir, you suck. Candidly yours. Good, I picked up shotgun ammo. It's the best day ever again. This certainly doesn't look ominous. Not in the slightest. So let's see, did anybody... There was another, speaking of games that are good, what do I need to do? Is there a thing that I'm missing here? Do I need to kill all the zombies? Yes, okay. Okay, so, there's this game, Kingdom of Loathing. This is a rather amusing browser game. It was a browser turn-based RPG that, had it been created today, would have been full of microtransactions to gain additional turns. Actually, I think that... Let's see. Because, okay, so one of the classes specialized in making cocktails, and you could use cocktails to take additional turns. But in order to craft the proper cocktails, you had to spend currency, in-game currency, on the different ingredients for it. So you could basically funnel funds in order to make it so that one character could... Oh! I think I found it. Awesome. So you could funnel funds into a character to get a bunch of turns in a single day, so that way you could theoretically complete the game in a single day. Because everything took up turns to do, all that kind of stuff. But one of the things I remember about it was there was a dyslexic graveyard, so you're fighting a bunch of zombies, and the boss of the area was the Boner Dagon, which, again, immature, haha, dick joke, but it was a funny damn dick joke. Okay with dick jokes as long as they're funny, and not too long. Again, a single midget zombie would have just thrown that all out of whack. Fortunately, there were no Aryan midgets to be found in Germany at this time. Or possibly in general. Okay. They seem to not like that. Oh god. And I believe that this is also the final siege. Yeah, okay, more of those guys who just kind of do their thing. I don't know if they... No, they clearly don't look like they're following. They're just in kind of a random pattern. So running, maybe not like the most advisable, seeing as doesn't do any good, really. I like the bombs from Super Mario 2. Just showing up in existence for long enough to blow up. Fantastic. Yay! I got a headshot. It only took me 5 bullets, guys. Am I pro yet? Am I allowed to put X's around my name? Become XX Spudmonk? XX? 420? I'd be curious, because a lot of people have that conception that the Xbox community is full of the XX headshots, 420, blaze it up, super racist kind of community. And I think that that's overstated in people's perceptions. So I'm like, I could, just for the sake of an empirical study, go onto Xbox Live, get Call of Duty Ghosts when it comes out, and just mark how many times somebody was racist, how many times people were homophobic, and how many of those gamer tags that I saw. I was willing to bet that it's not as often as people make it out to be. Probably it's... I will not make the argument that it doesn't exist. I'll put it that way. I have encountered some scum of the earth people, and it has been on Xbox Live, but I've encountered the same people playing Dota, so you know. Give a man a microphone. Give a man a fire, he'll be warm for a night. Set a man on fire, and he'll be warm for the rest of his life. Wow, thanks, slow-mo cam. That was the exact shot that I needed to see. Oh god. Skeleton party. Location, my ribs. Okay. Yeah, that's one of those guys. That's good. Actually, I should definitely be using the pistol on these skeletons, not the machine gun. Because, as we have seen, the machine gun is excellent for sweeping off the heads of crowds of zombies, so let's save it for its intended purpose. Oh man, I just realized that in the sequel they could put in the Flammenwerfer. Get a flamethrower up in this game for fighting off hordes of skeletons. Because I'm pretty sure you can light bones on fire, right? That's a good idea? Yeah. I read that somewhere. And I've mentioned before, flaming zombies, brilliant idea. I love the look of indifference on his face every time he shoots. And also, if you look at the animation, like the stance that he has whenever he's shooting, and you get that slow-mo thing, there are a lot of times where the scope is at like nipple height, and that made me laugh in the original. Because I'm just like, he has the power. I think I didn't see you there. I see you joshing me. That wasn't a good angle for it. Also, he's got like the perfect Superman hair. Like everyone's hair is kind of modeled like a Lego person's in this game. Jesus. Guy's hopping around like crazy. Yeah, see? He wasn't even looking down the scope. He was just like, yeah, my shoulders got this shot. Perfect. Okay, yeah, in a game about sniping, you may want to get your characters looking down the barrel, or the scope of a gun's animation down right. That may be important, especially if you're taking every 3 seconds to have a slow-mo cam showing him firing the gun. You may want to nail that detail. It's so nice to leave that path whenever they jump. Forget how much is left once we take out these sniper guys. I kind of want to shoot him by, or kill him by shooting him in the testicles, but I just don't think that's going to happen. That might be at least internal organs. Oh, they don't even show it. Thanks for nothing, game. Again, this section would be a pain in the butt to deal with bullet drop. That was it. Oh, okay. That was his hand. He stopped the bullet with his fist. But it also did go through his head, so there's that. Another one, just like through the wrist. And then the neck again, but you know, the wrist. Their brains are in their wrists. Worse than we thought. We're all gonna die. More explosions. More zombie horde. Another large enemy. That looks like just a zombie horde. It's just the shambling remains of the once alive zombies, or once alive Nazis. Forgetting who I was hating on for a minute there. Yep, and there's our friend, the big guy. So let's focus fire. Yeah, this gun is kind of insane on easy difficulty. My condolences to anyone who used a gun that was not this one in this game on this difficulty, because he just melted like butter. Or I suppose, due to his weight, he just melted like Buddha. Ah, fat jokes. And reincarnation jokes. Appropriate, given the fact they keep coming back from the dead. So they keep killing them in a crappy fashion. Not that guy, though. We got all of that. And... checkpoint. Checkpoint. Checkpoint? Now, again, I'm no scientist, but I'm pretty sure at this point the back of his head would be looking like a parabola from all the exit wounds. But, magic, zombies, Satan, you get the picture. Yay, and then this opens. We are free to place the occult text on the plinth for some reason. We did it! Thus opening the path to the 5th and final level of the game. So that takes care of this time. Only 41 minutes this go around. 71% accuracy! So I will catch you guys on the next and final episode.